What we see in a 5-minute snippet would turn an analyst's hair white in any normal organization.
Primary goal of that SOC function is to make sure that our conference attendees are safe and secure, that nothing bad is happening to them while they're here.
Someone was scanning a government infrastructure that they were not supposed to be scanning. We go to the room and we go, we know what kind of computer you have. We know your MAC address. We can find you. We saw you doing this, cut it out.
The time for them to produce an attack is shorter and shorter.
Artificial intelligence is genuinely changing not only our industry, but the entire world.
People often bill the Black Hat Network as one of the most hostile networks in the world. How do you determine what is a malicious actor when everybody in a classroom is throwing exploits across the wire?
Black Hat has always been very community-oriented. The NOC itself has a lot of volunteers, and I know Neil Weiler, Grifter, and I was like, hey, I'd really like to help out with Black Hat. And they were like, yeah, come on down. Let's have you be involved. You know, I had access to some Palo Alto Networks firewalls, and I was like, you know, hey, let's just bring it down and put it in tap mode off to the side and let it see what we can see, right? You know, Black Hat was starting to outgrow the consumer hardware that they were running on at the time. And so they started to think, you know, hey, maybe we could partner with some of these major cybersecurity vendors and get, you know, the best of the best technology in here. And, you know, that's kind of the classic story where, you know, Bart and Grifter went out to the vendor floor and were like, hey guys, you know, would you be willing to help out with Black Hat? And everybody said yes.
At the time that we had 1,500 attendees and we had 15 classrooms. But this year we are expecting close to 25,000 attendees and we have over 90 classes. So it's a little bit of a different crew than just me and two friends.
Super big year for us in terms of bringing XIM to Black Hat. We're essentially the backbone for all the different logs that are going to be filtering into the XIM product. So being able to look at XIM and say, hey, you know, different vendors are pulling in different data. XIM is able to all correlate that. So us as threat hunters can then go in and look at that data and take action on it. So super, super important to have all that data in one place.
You have to have good communication to make anything work. And so everyone's bringing a piece of security to this conference. And so it's really important that we learn how each other's tools work and how we can then work together to keep everything up and running and keep everyone secure.
So we have Cisco, which has its threat intelligence and its file analysis tool that gets fed into Palo Alto XIM, which is our source of truth. They're also the MDM for the conference for our mobile devices for registration. Cisco also is doing our file analysis for ThreatGrid. Arista is all of our access points and our switching. And then we have Palo Alto, which is our firewalls. Palo Alto does XIM, which is our SOAR automation response, our workflow, and then we're building a bunch of AI stuff in that. Corelight, this is the network visibility, and we take all the network information that we have because people here at the conference are not going to let us install agents and endpoint things on their devices. So we leverage the network. We use the network to determine what is really happening, whether it's encrypted or unencrypted. They're doing something they're unaware that they're doing.
That collaboration is vital. If we were all working individually, it would be highly inefficient. We would maybe be duplicating incidents. We would maybe not be working in sync with each other. And quite simply, we wouldn't be able to build that infrastructure bespoke for each event in the short period of time if we weren't all collaborating with each other.
It's interesting to build a network of this scale in just a few days and then tear it right back down. We've deployed approximately 50 switches, 145 APs to support as much as 10,000 attendees that might be on the network in just 3 to 4 days, and we will operate that network for 4 or 5 days.
So the NOC prepares months in advance to get ready for this show. We work with our partners just to make sure that the integrations that we have in place are sufficient for us to have the visibility that we need. Then, the week before the conference, we send a team out here to work on site, getting all of the infrastructure set up, sending test logs, validating that we have all of the pieces of information to be able to produce the detections that we can. And then during the conference itself, there's always, minor issues that arise, and so we sort of work through those as they come up over time.
Sometimes we have issues with the network and we need to run out and we need to deploy special equipment. We deploy them to be able to grab wireless, see what the client connectivity is like, and to figure out what's happening in the network. So typically what I'll do, plug this in, make sure it gets power. Sure enough, we got fans and we got lights. Next thing I'll do is we have our runner laptops that also have special wireless adapters so we can get more information about the wireless environment. So now I'll be able to use this to look at the data from this as this gets checked in, check my dashboards. Just like that, we've got a node in the environment, scanning all the things, getting more information. We can look for hackers, we can look for attackers, we can look for people doing shenanigans, and we can make sure our quality is good at the network as well.
So here at Black Hat, we have people in classrooms who are learning malware, doing malicious things, but they're paid money to learn and do those. We have people on stage doing demos, doing presentations that are abnormal from a normal corporate environment. What we have to do here in the SOC is figure out what is really bad versus what we call a Black Hat positive. Black Hat positive is something that we let go here on our network that you wouldn't in a corporate environment. You have a class learning Kali Linux to download it and go exploit something, we're gonna let that go here. You start doing something illegal, attacking other organizations and credit card processors and police precincts, we're gonna stop that.
These are all core partnerships that go around the world at Black Hat and are very, very tight integrations. For instance, with Cortex XIM being the security operations platform, we ingested over 14 different data sources just at Black Hat in that week to 10 days. And out of those 14 data sources, we saw over 5 terabytes of data.
We see people show up compromised. They'll come in and they're already owned. And our team finds that almost immediately because they're almost bred for it. I am firmly of the belief that more people leave Black Hat more secure than they do come and get compromised now.
It's great to work together, it's great to see each other as people and build something that is hopefully furthering cybersecurity for the benefit of the folks that protect, this nation and worldwide.
I think that as security professionals, we need to understand the impact of AI and how we're going to leverage it to defend our enterprises. And specifically what I mean is, we need to be faster than the attackers, right? And we need to be able to leverage AI in a way that's more efficient than they are to stay ahead of that curve.
The NOC, I think, really represents the culture of cybersecurity at its base. It's all of these people who don't really get paid to be at the conference, but are really just working there to protect our attendees.
You can't sponsor your way into the Black Hat NOC. You have to have the best solution for whatever the need is that we have, because we've committed to the attendees that whatever solutions you're seeing on the other side of that glass are the best solutions that exist in security today.
The importance of data, which drives machine learning and artificial intelligence capability, is just going to become absolutely crucial.
We chose Palo Alto Networks initially for a single solution, and as we've had additional needs, we've been able to grow the footprint of Palo Alto in the NOC as well. It's been really nice. The NOC that we've built today, it is a NOC because we're a network operations center, but it's a full-fledged SOC. It is what I believe to be what a modern day SOC should look like if you had an unlimited budget.
The people that are truly going to be differentiated in the market and the partners that you're going to want to partner with are ones that are doing things completely unique and are able to get AI to do things that no one else can.